In a small, quiet town, there lived a bright young boy named Ryan. He was brimming with potential and carried a big dream in his heart to one day become a doctor. For a while, everything seemed to be on track, but then his focus began to drift. It was a subtle shift, a slow surrender to the little things. Every time Ryan sat down at his desk, ready to dive into his textbooks, the siren call of distractions would begin. A notification from Facebook, a recommended video on YouTube, the endless hypnotic scroll of his social media feed. His mind, once a sharp tool for learning, was becoming a playground for fleeting entertainment. The real world would fade, and hours would melt away in the glow of his phone screen. His parents, with loving concern in their eyes, and his teachers, who saw his untapped potential, would gently remind him, "Ryan, you need to focus. Discipline is the key to unlocking your future." But Ryan, caught in the current of instant gratification, would always brush it off with a casual, "I'll do it later. I have plenty of time." That later, however, was a horizon that never seemed to get any closer. Then came the day of reckoning. The results for a crucial scholarship exam were posted. As his friends erupted in cheers, celebrating their success, Ryan's world fell silent. He found his name far down the list. He had failed. He sat alone on a school bench, the crumpled result sheet a heavy weight in his hand. The joyous shouts of his peers echoing like a painful reminder of what could have been. The dream of becoming a doctor suddenly felt impossibly distant. That evening, as the sun set, casting long shadows across his room, Ryan sat in stillness. A profound realization washed over him. The problem wasn't a lack of intelligence. He knew he was smart enough. The missing piece, the one thing that had stood between him and his goal, was discipline. He had let his untamed mind wander, and it had led him astray. It was a bitter pill to swallow, but in that moment of quiet heartbreak, a new resolve began to form. Now, let me share with you a story about how a simple lesson changed everything. Fueled by this newfound determination, Ryan decided he needed a guide, someone who could teach him the art of self-control. His search led him to Coach Miller, a man known not just for his athletic prowess, but for his profound wisdom. Ryan approached him on the school's practice field, a humble student seeking a master. Coach Miller listened patiently to Ryan's story. He didn't lecture or scold. Instead, he simply said, "If you want to control your mind, you must first learn to focus it on a single point." With that, he handed Ryan a simple toy bow and arrow. Ryan took the bow, drew back the string, and aimed at the distant target. He released the arrow, but it flew wide, missing the target completely. He tried again and again, with the same frustrating result. "You looked at the bow, the arrow, the wind, the people watching," Coach Miller observed calmly. "You looked at everything except your goal." The coach placed a gentle hand on Ryan's shoulder. "A great archer sees only the center of the target. Everything else fades away. You must train your mind to do the same. When you study, your textbook is your target. Your dream is your bullseye." "But coach, where do I even begin?" Ryan asked, feeling a glimmer of hope. Coach Miller smiled and held up 4 fingers. "It starts with 4 simple rules," he said. 1. You must become the master of your thoughts. When a distracting thought appears, acknowledge it, and then gently guide your focus back to your task. 2. Create a non-negotiable routine. Your mind thrives on structure, so give it a schedule to follow every single day. 3. Eliminate your distractions. That phone, put it in another room, turn it off. Create a space dedicated only to focus. And 4. Practice every single day. Discipline is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. From that day forward, Ryan changed. He created a strict study schedule and stuck to it. His phone, once a constant companion, was now kept out of sight and out of mind. Whenever he felt his focus waver, he would remember the image of the target and gently pull his attention back. It wasn't easy, The first few days were a battle against old habits, but he persisted. Slowly but surely, something remarkable began to happen. Minutes of focus stretched into an hour, and then hours. His mind, once a chaotic storm, was becoming a calm, clear lake. The work that once felt like a monumental chore now felt manageable, even enjoyable. He was rediscovering his love for learning, no longer hindered by the noise of distraction. A few months passed, another important exam came around, and this time, Ryan was prepared. He walked in with a quiet confidence. When the results were announced, he wasn't just on the list, he was at the very top. He had come in first place. The celebration this time was his, and it felt earned, a testament to his hard work and newfound discipline. A year later, Ryan stood on a brightly lit stage, the warm glow of the lights shining down on him. In his hand, he held the scholarship that would pave his way to medical school. As the audience applauded, his mind drifted back to the grassy field and Coach Miller's wise words. He finally understood. The mind, he thought to himself, is like a wild horse. Untamed, it will run wild and lead you nowhere. But if you can learn to hold the reins, to guide it with discipline, it will carry you toward success. Toward any destination you choose. The journey to your dreams is not just about talent or intelligence. It's about training your mind. With discipline as your guide, your potential is limitless, and success will surely follow. If this story resonated with you and you believe it can inspire others, please show your support by liking and sharing this video. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories that can help you on your journey. Thank you for watching.